let's try to predict 2023's market.
Yeah. 2023, because we're basically heading into a recession.
I don't think we're headed into a recession. I feel like the market is adjusted from what it was about a year or two ago. As you know, a year or two ago, it was probably the most historical moment in the real estate market that anybody's ever seen. I had just gotten in at that moment, and nobody really knew what to do, just because there was a frenzy of
You got it
buyers.
at the worst time.
What was it?
You got it at the worst time.
Yeah, I know. I did. Well, no, not necessarily, because
Worst
no one
and
knew what to
best.
do. I didn't know what to do, so I felt like I was just on the same level, like playing field as everybody else. So with that being said, like, you know, everybody seemed to be trying to buy a house at that moment, and there just wasn't enough inventory. So moving forward now in 2023, there's more inventory. It seems like the amount of buyers has somewhat dissipated a bit, but the ones that are now holding more power, just because
Like Zillow and all them.
well, Zillow really they don't have anything to do. Oh, you know what? Hold on. It's so funny that you mentioned Zillow, dude, because Zillow, I remember, dude, during the pandemic, Zillow was buying a ton of properties.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they were buying a ton of properties and like trying to like sell them for a little bit more, like a couple like months down the road, right? And that ended up backfiring tremendously.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it just blew up in their face, dude. So they had a ton of like purchases that they had bought that they were trying to just unload, basically, right? And so that they had prices they had homes listed for like way higher than market value, hoping that some buyer would be desperate enough
I thought they were making money off of it.
Oh, no. I mean, it was an attempt, right?
Yeah.
Like, they saw an opportunity there. Oh, okay, let's take advantage of it. But it ended up just backfiring in their face. But anywho, you know, with predictions of 2023, the market has adjusted. There's more inventory. And buyers have more negotiating power compared to what was, you know, 1 to 2 years ago. Like I said, buyers are now being able to negotiate their purchases. You know, for example, buyers now, when they see a house for sale, for example, for $500,000, they have the ability to ask for less than what they're asking. So they can now negotiate maybe $10,000 less or $20,000 less, or maybe even ask for credits towards their closing costs. And the sellers right now, trying to get any equity they can, are now becoming desperate and allowing buyers to come in and, you know.
So it's a good time to buy a house.
Essentially, yes. Yeah. No, it's a very good time to buy a house. If you're looking to do it, you have more power than the sellers right now at this point. And if you're heavily qualified, then there's a very good chance of you getting those keys within the first couple of weeks of looking. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that's good. What if people are scared to buy right now and they think the market's gonna crash more?
Are people scared? I think people that are scared of buying are scared that, you know, what they bought, let's say this month, and the market starts to decline, or maybe there's a possible crash within the near future and they'll be upside down on their home. I don't foresee any sort of crash like that. The reason why 2008 crisis occurred was because a lot of lenders were very negligent and, you know, pretty much giving anybody a loan if you exist, essentially. For that to occur, highly unlikely. I would say if you can get in now, especially if you're able to negotiate. A year or two ago, people were having to give everything they can and over ask on the price, right? So, for example, for $500,000, they would have to be asking $5,000 to $10,000 to even have their offer considered, which is insane, right? Like, yeah, and so people would, for instance, I had buyers that were offering, 10 to 15 over, and they would be outbid by people who were over, asking like 25 over. Yeah, I know. So it was just that for months and months and months. It was just consistent battles of bidding.
Time to buy is now.
Time to buy is now. The time to buy is now.